We're live in Kingdom Academy Facebook group. We're gonna be going over a live deals that we're looking to sell that we just got under contract. So we're gonna go over how we found it, how we negotiate, how we got everything, and how you can copy what we're doing here. So if you need help, support, reach out to my phone number, call, text, email. If you have, of course, you have deals that you need help analyzing, we can help you do that. Of course, we would partner on the deal or buy the deal from you. So send us your deals or send any help or support you need. So we're just gonna go over a real-time deal. So we just got under contract, how we found it, how we analyzed it, how we got it under contract, and how we're going to market and sell it. So we're just gonna go over a deal we just recently got under contract. So here's a deal. It's in the south side of Chicago, single family brick house. We have the pictures here. You can see it's like a single family brick. It's already gutted. You can see the condition here that it's in. It's pretty much needs everything, right? So it's a two-story brick home. So it has good structure. So how we found this deal actually came from one of our partners that got it under contract and everything. And this deal, inside of X leads, you can see it can be found on the absentee owner list or board investor list. This deal could have been found on the absentee owner list, okay? And we got the deal under contract for 90,000, and our intent is to wholesale it. The system's saying 118. I think that's a little off to wholesale. I'm getting 110 on the numbers here. And we're gonna go over that and how we got that, okay? But this whole AI is getting this wholesale offer is actually getting pretty close. Like it's like I said in my one of my other trainings is it's about 75% hit or miss. You can see this when you go analyze the deal, it will give you different estimates on if it needs a gut rehab, medium cosmetic rehab, light repairs. So this number actually is pretty close. Like we're going to sell this at 110 as a sales price, and it needs heavy repairs. So it's these numbers are getting pretty cool where you can just eventually that's going to happen soon where the number is going to always be accurate. You just click a button and you have the number in front of you, which is going to be awesome. But it's not 100% there yet. I would say 75% there, which is pretty cool that you can just click a button and all of a sudden you got the right offer, right? And you don't have to think about it anymore. You don't have to run the numbers, run the comps anymore. But for now, since it's only 75%, we still have to use Redfin. So we're in redfin.com. You plug the address in, you go to this map right here and go to nearby homes for sale. And what we're doing is we're trying to be like an appraiser, right? What an appraiser would do is they'll look at homes sold in the last 3 to 6 months, and they're going to look at homes that are single family, so similar type of property. And they're also going to look at homes similar square footage. So this is 1181. Well, they try to be within like 10-15% of that square footage. The thing is with Chicago is that they add a lot of these realtors or agents, they're adding like the basement square footage, which they're not supposed to. So this is a two-story. So this basement square footage would be if you take 1181 and divide it by two, because it's like a square two-story. So if the basement, it has a full basement, so usually the basement's the same size as like the first level. So you just divide that by two, so you get 590 plus 1181. So total square foot, I'm getting 1771. Okay, if you finish the basement. So you can take the square footage and go up to 1771, 1800 plus add another 10-15% on top of that. So I'm going to be at 2000. And I want to be careful to only get properties that are similar square footage, not that are above ground with the 1181 that are close to that. So I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. So in Redfin, you're usually zoomed in pretty close, like within like a 3-block radius. Like like if you have plenty of good comps here within this radius, let's say that there's like 10 and I want to price it from high to low because I want to see the highest sold comps. So you see that there's the highest sold comps within like a 3 block radius, 254, 235, 180. But these are all 1 story. It looks like those two. This one is yeah, also a 1 story. Typically a 2 story will sell more than a 1 story. And same thing with a like a brick to frame. Typically a frame house is going to be selling a lot cheaper than a brick house in Chicago. And so I'm going to zoom out to see if I can get a fully rehabbed 2 story. But if mine was a 1 story, I would probably use these comps because they're fully rehabbed. You see that? They're fully rehabbed. So I zoom out, I got another 1 story. So it's 300. So if you zoom out once, it's about half a mile in Redfin. You zoom out again, like a second time. Now you're going to get about a mile radius. So most appraisers, professional appraisers that know what they're doing, are typically going to go 3 to 6 months sold within a mile radius. So this is the radius I want to be at. So you can see here, we can use we can click on this one for 300. And if I go into this is 1950s. I'm 100% sure that they added the basement square footage to this because it does not look like 1950 just looking straight on at it. So if you go to public facts, just search public facts right here. You see that? 933. So they added the basement square footage to this property. The basement is finished, right? So they're not supposed to do that, but unfortunately they do that. So when you're finding comps, you can see, if there are bigger if you add your square footage, you can see properties that are similar, like this one to 285. This one sold. It says 1518 square feet. So if I go to the public facts, I can see it's actually 1032. So I'm sure as well they most likely added the basement to this property as well. Yeah. So I can use these two comps, 285, 300. So you can see if I only sorted by under like, closer to the 1200 mark, I would have missed these two comps. I would have missed these two, right? And then here's the next one. The third one's at 273. And this is small, 1166. So I can use this one. This one definitely says 1 story. It's a smaller property. I can use this one here, 273, 285, 300. Because like I said, typically 2 stories going to sell more than a 1 story. So I can use the 1 stories that are selling at the highest price. And then 270, this comp here, we can go again to the public facts, and we can see again 919. So they added the basement square footage to these properties. And you're gonna see, I sorted by the highest sold to the lowest. So you're gonna see usually the highest sold are gonna be rehab like this, right? So this one's fully rehab, looks like everything's brand new here. Um, so so you're gonna have to get your property in the same condition as these guys, right? So this property as it stands is a 3 bedroom, 1 bathroom, right? So in order to get it comparable to these comps here, 4.2, 4.1, 2.2, 4.2. So majority is 4 bedrooms. So the majority I need to do a 4 bed and I need to add a bath. So I definitely need to finish my basement, add at least 1 bedroom, add at least 1 bathroom, right? So here's how we're getting the numbers. So you're just gonna add the 4 highest comps that we found. So you got this our system, you plug it in, it automatically comes up with it, but we're gonna go over it manually, just showing you the numbers. 280. So we got 300, 285. I kind of zoomed out. 300. Oops. I accidentally zoomed in. So 300, 285, and 273. And you divide that by 3, you get the after rehab value, right? Oh, I messed up there. So let's do that again. 300 plus 285 plus 273, and then you divide that by 3, so you get after rehab value at 286, right? So that's the one number I need to get an accurate offer. The second number I need is the rehab cost, right? So obviously this is a total rehab, right? Total gut rehab, and it's already gutted. It doesn't have a garage either. I'm 100% sure if I look at all these comps here, they all have garages. If I go into the pictures, I can see, or I can just go to property details and look for parking, and we'll say garage, right? So Chicago, garages are important. So right there, garage, right? So next comp, property details. So all the properties have a garage. Guess what? You need to build a garage too. And a garage typically is going to cost like $15,000 to $20,000 to build. You know, depending on there's a foundation on it. So we're going to estimate that as well into the cost here. Okay. I do like to get my notepad up just to easily so you guys can see kind of how it how how we run down the numbers on and calculate the formula and everything, right? Let me see if it pulls up. Not pulling up. So we got to write down our one number we have at 286, right? Oh, there it is. So we got our one number here at 286. So ARV. So the second number I need is rehab. So how do I get that? In our system, you just really just put square footage and put the condition, and it comes with the rehab for you. But I'm just going to show you how we do it manually, so you'll kind of understand it. With the basement square footage, we already calculated it was about 1,777 total square feet. And again, it's a 1,181 square feet. It's a square two-story, so typically the basement would be the same size as the first level. So that's how we calculated that. And then a total gut rehab inside looks like I'm pretty sure the outside is gonna need everything as well. You times that by $40 a square foot. Now, if the outside was in great shape and the inside was a total rehab, then it would be $30 a square foot. Like if it had new roof, newer windows, the brick was perfect. Now if it's cosmetic rehab, meaning the property it was in great shape in total, but it just needs updating, then it's $20 a square foot. Okay, so that's kind of like the formula we use. So you're gonna see that it's gonna cost about 71,080 in rehab costs. Then I'm gonna add another $20,000 for the garage, right? Because all the comps have a garage, so I need to build a garage. So total rehab costs on this building, we're getting 91,080. So let's just round up a little bit, 92K, right? So you take 286. So the formula, it depends on the area, and I'm going to show you. We're going to do with a point, let's do it with a 0.75 formula. So 286K times 0.75%. And the reason I'm doing 0.75, it's a pretty decent area with a low inventory. So we're going to do 0.75, 286 times 0.75. You're looking at 214 minus the 92, minus the 92K rehab, right? We're looking at 122.5 would be, and this is just the next step you want to do. You want to actually go into the area and look at the competition. If I'm an investor in this neighborhood, what can I buy? What's the best deal I can buy, right? And typically, if the investor in the neighborhood can buy something off the MLS for a better deal, better price, why would they buy your deal, right? So you got to ask yourself that. So I'm gonna go for sale. I'm gonna look at all the actives. I'm gonna look at all the actives because I'm gonna look at like everything I can buy right now on the market in the same area, in the same location, right? So I look at actives, same thing. I'm looking for houses, and then I'm gonna take the square footage off. Because there may be a property bigger, maybe selling cheaper. We don't know that until we turn it off. And then we're gonna do the opposite. I'm looking at everything low to high, and what I'm looking for is like a brick property. So right here is a brick 4-bed, 2-bath, so selling for 140. And I do like to zoom out a little bit, like try to be within like a mile and a half of everything. And then look at the comps. So the frames are not comparable to brick, so I'm not going to look at frames. This is a frame. This is a brick, but it's only a 1-story. So 140 would be the absolute lowest brick 4-bed, 2-bath in the neighborhood. And if we look at the pictures, let's see the condition of this thing. It's not in bad of a shape. The outside is not too bad. The inside, it's on the verge of a gut rehab on the inside. There's yeah, the basement needs to be finished. So this is our only competition. So yeah, I can try to sell this at the 122 mark. I don't know. Earlier I said 110. Maybe I saw a different comp, but I'm not seeing anything selling cheaper than the cheapest deal on the market is 140. So I think we can sell this for 122. We have a contract on this at 90,000. So our spread on this looks like it should be close to 32,500 minus an attorney fee, minus 1K. So we're looking at like 31,500, right? And that's on the verge of a double close. So we may, depending on the relationship with the seller, um, we may have to double close it. So if that's the case, then instead of a 1K attorney fee, that's going to turn into like a 5K to 6K double closing costs, right? So it just depends on if the seller is gonna, we think the seller is going to have any problem with like an assignment of 31,000 or not, of course. So how we found this deal again, you can find this deal can be found absentee owner list in that area that we were, in the area that you're marketing. So absentee owner list is a good list. It's less distress. You're going to have less people responding, say they want an offer, but you're going to have a lot more leads to call. Like for example, we teach, hey, start with pre-foreclosure, start with tax delinquent, start with probates, start with vacant properties. All those have distress, right? So you're going to get a higher response rate. But once you contact all those leads, yeah, you could move to the absentee owner list, which you're going to have a lower response rate, but you'll have a ton of more leads that you can call, right? So you can simply if you have X leads, go to your zip code, and then just go into absentee owners, and then start dialing and start calling. Or you can just go to propwire.com, which is absolutely free. Go to absentee owners and skip trace it with True People search for free, and start calling with Google Voice for free and start making calls, right? Like you can get a deal with a $30,000 spread on it doing this. And yeah, you're gonna have to call a lot of people, you're gonna have to make a lot of offers, you're gonna have to get tons and tons and tons of rejections. And you just have to ask yourself, is it worth it, where I can make $30,000 on one deal or $20,000 on one deal, right? It's worth it. You just have to look at your um how much will you make hourly doing this, right? So that's how we found the deal. That's how we analyzed it. We got it under contract from one of our partners that we've closed a few deals with in the past, and they're the ones that they sent us some deal. They say, hey, run the numbers on this. We analyzed it for them. We sent it back to them. They called the owner back with the offer, and we got it under contract for 90K. And how we're going to market the deal, right? So the next step is how we're going to market and sell the deal. We kind of have like a template we use like this. We were actually just working on this live, so I was just starting to put the template of marketing that we put together. So we can do that live here, and I like to just you can use Redfin to get a lot of the data on this. I like to go into public facts, and then you can put in the information in. So again, we're gonna sell this for maybe 120, 122 mark. So 3 bed, 1 bath. It's square foot 1181. Lot size is 4662. So this is us preparing the advertising, right? Basement is unfinished. Ready to add beds and bath. There is no garage. Um, After rehab value, what did we get? We got I think it was like 283 with those comps. It's total rehab already gutted. It's vacant. Um, you guys saw the pictures already, so you can see all of that here. And taxes, I need to, investors want to know how much are the taxes, of course. So if you go Redfin, under taxes, it tells you 1057 per year. That's pretty low, and they may have an exemption there. Um, and then market rent. So what's the market rent on this thing? We like to go to Zillow rental calculator and just plug in the address to get market rent 1986. Xleads has that as well. So we always like to compare. So this is the rental they have pretty low, 1600. I think Zillow is going to be the most accurate because it's Zillow. Everyone rents their property on Zillow, right? So going back to that, market rent again, we're gonna just even it out to 2000 per month after rehab. And this is an off-market deal. It's in we like to put the neighborhood in the Jeffrey Bader area of Chicago. And this is how do you find the neighborhood? You simply can just go look at when you're doing the comps, you can look at the map and it tells you, like, you see the neighborhood, Jeffrey Maynard. How do you know which one it is? Yeah, under Redfin, under neighborhood, you can also go there, and usually it will tell you the neighborhood. I think it's somewhere, yeah, down here, South Daring. So sometimes it's within a neighborhood. So South Daring, right here, you can click on that. It'll kind of give you like a border of that neighborhood. So, um, and then sometimes Chicago's a little weird, right? Like if I type in Jeffrey Maynard, Chicago, like the neighborhood, it's going to give me a border, right? So the property is like right around here, Maynard neighborhood. This is a brick 2-story. We're going to market this thing for 122. After rehab is 283. I think we're going to market it for less. We want to sell this fast. The owner only gave us like 3 weeks to sell. So um unfinished basement. Property needs a total rehab, already gutted. So this is just kind of some stuff I'm just repeating already. This is just like the template we use to advertise our property. And the main thing we advertising is here's the price, here's the ARV. There's a lot of equity, right? So sold comparables, and then we like to give like sold comparables and plug them in here and actually show the comparables, not just some fairy tale made up ARV like most wholesalers out there have like fairy tale made up ARVs, and it's getting ridiculous. And it's just lying, like here's a comp here that we actual real comp that's sold in the last 6 months within a mile radius, similar size, similar square footage. And that's what we use. We don't want to make up fake comps that are inflating the after rehab value, right? You want to make sure, um, so you see that if the square footage is showing a lot more than my property I'm marking, I'm gonna add this to it. I'm gonna add, public records, square feet is 919. looks like a basement square feet was added to listing, right? So every time I see that, I'm gonna mention that in my advertising. So next property that we had, the highest sold was 285. And I'm basically gonna getting all the data, like I'm copying the sold date, the address, and that's how and I'm actually getting the link, like the link to the property. So I'm gonna go in here, and when I email this out, they can just click on the address, and then they get to look at the comp, look at the pictures, look at the information that is accurate, right? And this one again, square footage, public record square feet is 1032. Basement square footage was added to the listing. Of course, if we added our basement square footage, it would be 1777, right? So it's finished. So these are comparable. Here's another one. So same thing with the square footage. So I'm just showing you guys kind of like the inside look on how we're advertising properties. And we'll send this deal out to all to our buyers that we know are buying in this specific area. But we'll give them 24 hours, sometimes, maybe a day and a half to look at it, and we'll text them, we'll leave them a voicemail. Buyers that we know have bought from us already that are buying, and we'll give them 24 hours. So some deals we never really advertise at all. We just text it, call a couple people, someone says they want it, okay, good. And we don't bother advertising. Now, I have a huge list of buyers on my email list. There's like 30,000, so I don't need to keep building my buyers list. We have a lot already. If I was you and I was brand new, I would definitely advertise every deal so that you can get more buyers on your buyers list, right? Um, but in my case, we don't need to do that because we already have a pretty huge, like established buyers list, right? So I just want to go back to that. I thought there was one more comp that sold for like 300. So again, going sold last 6 months. I'm looking at everything like under 2,000 square feet. I thought there was a comp that was, yeah, so we got that one, 300, 285, 273, 270. Yeah, I didn't get this one, the 273. This one is only a two bedroom. So we're going to send this to our buyers, and if there's no, what we do is we send it out and just say, hey, you got a couple hours, let us know, if you want to move forward with this deal. If I don't get someone saying openly, hey, I want this deal, hold it for me, then we go ahead and email blast it and send it out to everybody, right? On our list. And a lot of buyers, we do sell a lot of deals without even advertising it, which is great. That's what you want. You want to be at the point where, hey, I just call a couple of people and then it's sold, right? And that's the easiest thing to do. But if you're constantly advertising it, especially like if you're new, you don't have a buyer's list, it's good to build that buyer's list because you're going to get like 20, 30 probably new buyers for every deal you're marketing. The next thing I want to look at is under contract deals. I want to price it from high to low. See if there are any under de contract deals that are supporting my ARV that I got here. What is my ARV? The ARV I got, I think it was 283, right? 270 plus 285 plus 300 plus 273. Divide that by 4, 282. So 282 ARV. Right? So if I do 0.75 minus 90, was it $92,000 rehab? We're 91, so we're about 120. Yeah, about 120 sales price. And I think I want to drop it, I'll discuss with my partner, but I think we want to drop it to like a 110. Why? Because the owner's only given us 3 weeks and he's pretty adamant about not extending it. So we may drop it to 110 to sell it faster. And of course, if we get like multiple buyers interested, we'll just, we can get a higher price. Like Yeah, so if it's like a really hot deal, what we'll do is we'll go to all the buyers, say, hey, take a look at the property, give me your highest and best. We have multiple offers, and then sometimes it does get bidded up. I had a deal recently where it went up 10 grand. The highest deal that I've done where we made like a $40,000 spread, we we had that. No, I mean the deal that we made the most money on the wholesale deal was like $75,000 spread. But that deal, yeah, we just went around and just went back to every buyer, and then we got it. We got the price up by like $40,000 from what we originally marketed for. So we have our advertising ready. So basically, I'm just going to send this advertisement to like my top 10 buyers in that area, give them 24 hours, and then wait, and then if there's no takers, then we're going to blast it out to our email list, and then get it sold, right? So that's how we're going to market and sell it. Typically, again, we have our VIP buyers that we text and we call and we see if they want the deal. If nobody takes it, we're going to email blast it to the rest of our list with over 30,000 people on it. And if no one takes it, then we'll start marketing on, Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist. We'll put it on our social media. We'll put it on maybe, yeah, Facebook group, all the Facebook groups that go out there. We will start gathering a list of buyers in the area. So for example, you can go to XLeads or PropWire and get like the cash buyers in the area, and then you can get their phone numbers, get their email, start texting, calling them. You can also get all the landlords, go to Zillow for rent in the area, start calling all the landlords, texting them the deal, and then you can also go to realtor.com, get all the realtors in that zip code, that area, and then you can start calling, texting them the deal. So that's kind of the process. Again, we don't publicly market the deal if we sell it right away. That's how we got this deal. So go out there. You can duplicate this. So I mean, you can just go to your market, go to apps the owner list, and start calling. Right, start calling, texting, free on propwire.com. Xleads is paid because it's already skip trace. It's just gonna save you time, and you can automatically contact them using that as well. So let me know if you guys have any questions about that. Proverbs 1:23-27. Right. So today I believe we need Jesus more than ever with the whole division that we have in the United States, the division we have in politics, and there's so much hate and evil out there that you see someone getting killed basically doing their job, and people celebrating it, which is just crazy how evil people are. And that's what the Bible says. In the last days, it's just going to get more evil, more wicked, more. It's going to get worse and worse and worse, right? It doesn't say it's going to get better. It says it's going to get worse, right? So Proverbs 23:27 says, "Come and listen to my counsel. I will share my heart with you and make you wise." So God is inviting you. He's saying, "Come, listen to me. Listen to my counsel. Listen to my advice. Listen to my words," right? And he will share his heart with you and make you wise. So if you just come and listen and hear, God can share his heart with you. And that heart that he shares with you is through the word of God, through the Bible, right? And if you want to be wise, not in wisdom of man or wisdom of influence or wisdom that you have followers and stuff like that, but if you want real wisdom, true wisdom from God, you get that from coming to him, to listening to him, from getting counsel from him. And the only way you do that is through reading his word, and not just reading it, you can listen to it. Let's say that it's very hard for you to read for some reason. For me, before I started reading the Bible, yeah, I listened to it. I would just go to the Bible, play, and I would listen, and eventually I started reading it every day instead of just listening to it, right? So listen to it, and God will share his heart with you. I called you so often, but you wouldn't come. I reached out to you, but you paid no attention. So is God calling you now? Right? He's calling. So if you are someone that doesn't believe in God, or you don't ever listen to him, you never read his word, you never obey him or anything, guess what? He's always calling to you. He's always calling out to you. He's always reaching out to you. He's always saying, "Hey, come, listen to me. Listen to my counsel. Listen to my wisdom." And he's saying, "Here, you paid no attention." Right? And that's what's going on now. Like no one's paying attention. You ignored my advice and rejected the correction I offered. So are you ignoring his advice? Do you not even know his advice, right? First of all, like his advice is God's advice is free. It's out there. You just have to take the time and discipline to start reading it and learning it and understanding it. Um, but God offers advice for pretty much, the Bible offers advice for pretty much almost every single circumstance you can think of life. Um, Do I get a divorce? How to raise my children? Do I how to have a good business? How to manage your money? How to have good friendships? How to act? How to think? How to live this life? It's like the Bible is like the manual for life, right? Like when you buy a product, a phone or whatever, it comes with a manual how to operate it, right? That's the Bible is the manual, our operations manual for life, right? So God says, I will laugh when you are in trouble. I will mock when disaster overtakes you. So that's like pretty taken aback, right? Where's this God of love that just is overlooks everything, right? When calamity overtakes you like a storm, when disaster engulfs you like a cyclone, and anguish, distress overwhelm you. So God's saying, hey, listen, I'm here. I'm sharing my heart with you. I'm here. I'm trying to make you wise. I'm calling you. I want you. I want you I want to have a relationship with you. I want to speak with you. I want you to hear me. I want you to understand me. I want you to be wise, but you don't pay attention. You never paid attention. You don't, I keep calling you, but you never look my way. You ignore every advice I have. You reject everything that I am, right? And so it says one day, yeah, he's gonna just give you over, right? Like it says, so I will laugh when you are in trouble. I will mock when disaster overtakes you because you didn't listen, right? I told you again and again, take my wisdom, take my counsel, listen to me, listen to what I'm saying, right? And then when calamity overtakes you like a cyclone, disaster goes like an anguish or distress and overwhelm you, right? So it's yeah, disaster will happen if you don't listen to God. First and foremost, not disaster just in this this time that you're alive here, but disaster when it's all over. You never know when you're gonna get in a car accident, you're gonna pass away. You never know what day is your last day, right? And if you don't give your life to Christ before you pass away, it's going to be calamity. It's going to be disaster for you, right? So give your life to Christ. Make sure that you listen to him, listen to his counsel. Let him share his heart with you and make you wise. Let him, read his word, study his word, get in his word, become part of a church, have brothers and sisters in Christ. And I'm not saying that it's going to make your life better, like you're going to have health and prosperity and wealth. No, I'm saying that this is what God's will is for your life, right? And if you listen to God and He makes you wise, and then you turn around and obey Him, and yes, that's going to lead to, the Bible says, eternal. You're going to have so much joy and so much peace, and you're just going to be, no matter what's happening around you, you're just going to be grateful. No matter how much trouble, how much suffering, how many problems you have, a loved one passes away, you're going to be in a state of peace that surpasses all understanding. You're going to be in a state of joy and gratefulness, a state, and that's what you want. Like, no matter what happens around me, no matter what suffering and pain, no matter my closest friend passes away, or a closest family member passes away, I'm at peace because I know, my God is with me, and I know one day I will see his face, right? And that just brings every aspect of your life, in business and everything. It just brings you having a grateful, peaceful heart. It just makes everything easier in life. Every aspect of your life, every relationship, every business deal, everything, right? So if you need help, support, you need prayer for anything, reach out to me. We feel like something has shifted in the atmosphere as far as like politics and all this stuff. And I think I pray this leads to a big revival of what's going to happen in this country and around the world. So if you need prayer for anything, reach out to me. If you need help finding a church or something, today's the day to get back in church, start serving the Lord, giving back to the God, and surrounding yourself with other believers that know the Bible, know its word, know what God's will is, and helping you become more like God, more like Christ. So if you have any questions, reach out, email, call, text. We're here to help you, here to serve you. Reach out to us. God bless you.